So, Phil recruited me to sell these cards, and now I am recruiting you. Don't worry about Phil. He drives a Corvette. He is doing just fine.
Hello. Can you guys hear me okay? What do you know? Danielle doesn't know what she's doing. As you can see, we're sitting at a different angle today. If you saw my Instagram story, you'll know that I've been banished from my office to the dining room for the week. So I had to makeshift set up my stuff for this stream. We have a friend staying with us, and this is my office doubles as our guest bedroom. So we're making do with what we have. Hopefully the lighting stays okay. It is incredibly sunny outside right now, so I have the shades closed, but I'm freaking melting to death. So anyway, just wanted to give a little bit of context. Bubba is here. He's just sleeping and you can't really see him, but this is his head right here, little baby. Anyways, how's everybody doing? Amanda says, I love this. Normally I say I'm ready to get rich, but today I'm ready to be lied to. That's probably a pretty accurate sentiment to have as we get into today's training. Welcome, Evan. John Mark is here. Lisa. Harrison is here. Happy Monday, fellow downline. Bring on the weekly woo. So this week we're going to be looking at the same individual we were looking at last week. We're going to go through her email opt-in because we didn't have time to get to it last week because it's like 4 or 5 podcast episodes. So bring the popcorn and let's get rich. You know what? I like this attitude. I really do. And I just have this to say.
It sounds like a get-rich-quick scheme.
Yes,
Wrong one.
thank you. You will get rich quick. We all
I meant
will.
this one.
Raise your hand if you want to get rich.
I'm ready to get rich. That's what we're going to do today. This woman is going to teach us how to get hot leads, as she says. So I will say before we get into the stream, before I forget, if you are a channel member, I will have a video that is going live once this stream is over. So if you don't get sick of me after 2 hours of listening to me talk, look forward to another 20 minutes coming your way. Oh, interesting. This comment says, I saw the comment DL left on the video you did on her Instagram live video. She said she wants to do an interview on your channel. I didn't see that. I did not see that comment. If someone wants to find it and comment on it or something. I don't know. Sometimes with older videos, I don't know why this happens, and I don't know if anyone else who has a YouTube channel has this experience. But if people comment on, well, first of all, if you comment on existing comments, I don't get notifications for that. But if you comment on like older videos, especially when it's like right around the time another video has just been posted, the comments get like buried and I just don't ever see them. So I'll have to go look for it. Also, what stream is that? I don't know. I don't know who people are when I react to them. That's the other thing. And I believe I was talking with Suzanne about this recently. This idea that like, I don't know who any or most of these people are when I react to content. Like this woman that we're looking at today, I'm familiar with her name, but I don't actually know who she is. And when I make commentary, I'm never commenting on a specific person for the most part, unless it's like Jay Shetty or Brooke Castillo. I'm just talking about problematic stuff people in general are doing. So if someone wants to, whoever this is, Chai, if you want to show me what video it is, maybe I'll be able to find the comment. I don't remember who DL is. So if you could let me know, even tell me the title of the video, that would be helpful. No. So this is not the Yummy Offer Lady. The Yummy Offer Lady, if you missed it, is from my latest upload. This is the woman we looked at on live stream last week. So we watched her live training teaching us how to make 7 figures. For the record, I still have not made 7 figures since watching that training. But today she's going to teach us how to get leads for our business. So that should be fun. and we're all going to get really rich. So stay tuned for that. Can you do a British accent? Not without risk of offending someone. I'm glad I finished mowing in time. Welcome, August. Happy to have you here. Monica's here and she is ready to get leads and get rich. That's the attitude we need. Just use her. Yeah, all of my content is just random people I'm reacting to. I don't know who these people are. Okay, Hillary says, I think I recommended that IG Live. Okay, so is that like a really... I'm trying to think. Is this the video where it's like two women? They were like in bed. They were each in their own beds, respectively, but they were like yelling at each other. Is that the right IG Live? Can someone clarify? Yes, this is the Whisper Lady. So today, sorry, I'm kind of all over the place. I'm trying to figure out who this woman is, and I'm also trying to figure out today's stream. Today we are looking at Whisper Lady. So the lady that put us all to sleep last week and was talking like this, training us like this, that's who we're going to be listening to. So I'm curious to see if her podcast sounds the same as the webinar we watched last week. Okay, title of the IG Gurus Teach Us Why We Need Mentors. Okay, so I'm pretty sure that's the video of the two women on IG Live like yelling at each other. And they're talking about, you need a mentor forever. I'll have to go look through the comments and see if I can find her. And I used to be, okay, interesting. Sorry. Okay, thank you. Hillary has shared the video in the comments. So if anyone wants to go watch that stream, go ahead. And I will have to go through the comments and see what she said. In regards to whether or not I would have a conversation with her on my channel, I guess it would depend what her intention is with that conversation. So we'll see. To be determined. I will donate 20 memberships if you do an entire live stream in a British accent. Not gonna happen. Okay. So it's who I'm thinking. Perfect. All right. I'll have a look after we are done here. Whisper Lady. She was fun. I would say fun isn't the word I would use personally, but we're all entitled to our own opinions here. All right, if you're ready to get rich, you're in the right place. We're going to get into it. I'm going to crack my caffeine-free Diet Coke, or Diet Cola, if you will, because we don't buy the name brand in this house. What's everybody drinking? Let me know. Her voice is spooking me out from last week. Well, you're in for a treat because we're about to listen to another 2 hours of her. I actually don't know how long, but there's 5 podcast episodes, so let's just jump right in. So I signed up for this last week when we were live on stream, and today we're going to finally see what's inside. So this is super interesting from like a marketing perspective. I'm just going to nerd out a little bit here. When I opened the welcome email, so I got to her website. I saw this lead magnet. A lead magnet is like essentially a free thing that you sign up for that gets you on someone's email list. When I sign up, this is the content of the email. All it says is, yes, here's your guide. There's no context. I have no information on who this woman is, what I'm going to learn inside this free offer, nothing. And from like a business and marketing perspective, if someone's signing up for your opt-in, in my opinion, at least, the first email should give a little bit of context in terms of like, for example, I give away a free small business checklist. When you sign up to get that checklist, the welcome email says, hey, welcome to my email list. Here's what you can expect. These are the things that I talk about here. Here's what you're going to find inside the checklist. If you have any questions, let me know. There's at least a little bit of information so that when I sign up and I get the thing to my inbox, I know like, oh yeah, this is what I was hoping to learn. Nothing. This gives me nothing. Anyway, I digress. I open the PDF. Again, still giving me nothing. All it says is get hot leads reaching out this week and then links to the episodes, which by the way, it's a 4-part audio series, but it links to 5 videos. I guess math is not our strong suit. Anyways. Where is this sound coming from? Is this my phone? Oh my God, sorry. My phone like just started playing the live for some reason. It's like, what is happening? Ah! Okay. Yeah. So anyway, from like a marketing perspective, very weird that even the PDF doesn't have any information. Normally you would have like an intro section that would say who you are and what you're going to learn. I'm not getting much context here, and it's kind of confusing if I'm thinking of this from like the client perspective. If I was someone that was actually interested in downloading this, like a simple paragraph that explains in this 4-part audio series, you are going to learn ABC in your business for your business. That would be super helpful. So I don't know why I decided to go on that rant, but if you own a business and you have an email opt-in, providing your list with a little bit of context can be very helpful. And Isabel is asking, did she email you back last week? No. I was checking today because for those of you that weren't here last week, she had the opportunity to like sign up for a sales call. I signed up on the live stream saying that I made like, I don't remember, over 6 figures, I think. And I immediately got accepted into a call. I then filled out the form again saying that I made less than like 50K and I didn't hear anything back. So I guess she only wants to work with people that have money. Zip says, I'm drinking the rarest tap water sourced from the Mississippi River. I, too, am also drinking tap water along with my Diet Coke. So we love it. I wonder if she's actually going to say something useful or if it's just going to be teasing and useless word salad. Let me know in the comments if you think we're going to get rich or we're going to get duped. I'm erring on the side of the latter. Is this her whispering again? Maybe she whispers in her emails as well. That's a good question. Maybe that's why we can't hear. Okay, let's go ahead and just dive right in because again, there's no context to tell us where we, like what we're going to learn. So I guess we're just going to click through and hope that we learn something. So aside from learning how to get leads, I don't really know much else. I don't know why she's qualified to teach us this because again, there's no context. And yeah, let's just see how to talk to clients that are ready to buy now and see where it takes us. And as August right here says, don't forget to thumbs up the stream if you're having a good time. If you're having a bad time, give it a thumbs down. That's fine too, you know? I welcome any and all feedback. Okay? Okay. Let's see. How to talk to clients ready to buy now. Are you tired of shouting into the void only to attract clients who are just window shopping or who don't do the work after they've paid? Oh, we love a good shaming our clients moment. We love that. You're talking to the wrong folks in your marketing. Here's how to fix that. Only talk to clients who are ready to buy and will get the most out of your offers. It's time to resourced and ready. What? Oh, I read that wrong. It's time to talk to resourced and ready clients. Tune into this episode where I'm breaking down the sales strategy you didn't know you needed. Okay, let's get into it, guys. Let me know that you can hear it.
Welcome to the Bad Bitch Entrepreneur Podcast. I'm your host, Master Certified.
I didn't realize that's what it's called. The Bad Bitch Entrepreneur Podcast. Oh my God, how embarrassing. Imagine someone being like, hey, what's your favorite podcast? And you're like, oh, I listen to the Bad Bitch Entrepreneur Podcast. It's great. Like, I don't know. Maybe that's just like my personal taste, but I don't like that name.
Business coach Melanie Childers. This is the #1 show for entrepreneurs looking to grow and scale their business aligned with their feminist values. If you are driven to change the world for the better and you want the strategy and mindset to have the impact that you know you're here for, you're in the right place. It's time for your weekly dose of bad bitchery. Let's fucking go. What's up, bad bitches? Welcome to episode 116, how to talk to resourced and ready clients.
I believe some of you in the chat may have worked with this coach, been involved with this coach before. Does she start every podcast episode by being like, what's up, bad bitches? Because if so, That's how I'm going to start all of my YouTube videos from now on.
I'm just going to dive straight into this episode today. I think it is one of the most important things that you need to know when it comes to messaging, when it comes to your marketing, is talking to the right people. So I talked a little bit about this in episode 110 on Dream Client Messaging. So if you have not listened to that one, I highly recommend you go back to that. I also talked about this a little bit a long time ago, back in May of 2022 with episode 45, Empowered Marketing and Selling. So if you haven't listened to that one either, I really want to recommend that you go back and listen to those as well. They are great companion pieces for today's episode. And the reason that I'm sharing this with you is that I have seen so many clients struggle with this, and I struggled with it as well. And it's just unnecessary. This is a thing that you can learn that is not hard.
I got to speed this up. I'm bored already.
Just have to do a little bit of testing, a little bit of data mining, and have a particular mindset and a particular person that you want to talk to. It really can be that simple to speak to resourced and ready clients who are ready to pay and actively looking for a solution for the problem that you help solve. So I have seen this with so many of my clients who feel like they are struggling with their messaging, who feel like they're calling in the wrong fit clients, who alternately feel like either the wrong people are buying or no one wants to buy. So if this is you, this episode is specifically for you. I'm going to help you get out of that trap because it's not.
Okay, here's something super interesting. And I believe I've probably talked about this before, but I always find it very fascinating that a lot of these coaches will tell you it's a messaging problem if your offers aren't selling, versus actually addressing the fact that a lot of what these people are selling is hot garbage, in my opinion. It's always, oh, if you're not making money, it's because you're not speaking to the right people. You're not talking to people who are ready to buy. You're not doing X, Y, Z, A, B, C. When the reality is, maybe you're not selling something people actually want. Like when I think back to when I was a mindset coach and I used to sell various services, yes, I had clients, and yes, there were a select handful of people that would pay me for the work I was doing, but the majority of people didn't need what I was selling, and the majority of people didn't want what I was selling. And so I could have the perfect messaging speaking directly to a specific person, but if there isn't a market for the thing that I'm trying to shill, obviously I'm not going to make any sales. But these people want you to believe that you're not the issue, your business isn't the issue. People want what you're selling. It's just how you're communicating it that is the reason why you're not making sales. Exactly. It couldn't possibly be an oversaturation problem either. We never talk about that. We never talk about the fact the market's oversaturated, that you're selling services that you literally just made up out of thin air, that you're not even qualified to be selling the thing that you're selling, that you don't actually have adequate experience to be able to sell that thing, and then people don't take you seriously because you don't have the credibility you need to be able to sell that thing. Instead, we just say, it's a marketing problem. Here's how to talk to the people that need to buy what you're selling, aka here's how to manipulate people into believing that they need what you are trying to sell. Exactly. The issue is also that people are charging thousands of dollars overpriced programs by unqualified coaches. 100%. And if people see that, like let's just say that Monica is a coach and she's trying to sell me this $10,000 program and I'm trying to start a business, it doesn't matter if her messaging is great. If I can tell that Monica doesn't have the experience that I'm looking for, I'm still never going to buy from her. But they don't talk about that. And it's so frustrating. Yeah, it's all part of the emotional and mental abuse for sure. I just had to add that in because it's so irritating that they never actually talk about the real issue, when in literally any other business, product market fit is the first thing you figure out before you figure out the messaging, before you figure out, how you're going to scale your business. You need to figure out whether or not there's a market for the thing that you want to sell.
A fun place to be in your business, honestly. And I've been there. This is a thing that I have worked for many, many years on, that I struggled with for many years, and why I really wanted to bring it to you in a simple, doable format so that you could take this episode and share it with friends, run with it for yourself, and start bringing these people into your audience right now. The thing is, they're already in your audience. 15% of your audience is actively looking for a solution to the problem that you solve at any given time. So there's always 15% of your audience who are resourced and ready. You just have to know who to talk to and how to talk to them and start talking to them and getting them to reach out to you. So I'm going to walk you through a little bit of the process that I teach in my newest program called the Feminist Business Accelerator. That is open for enrollment right now. If you would like to know more about that, head over to melaниechilders.com/mastermind. All of the details are there for you. This is the first piece that we work on in that program, but I'm going to share some of it with you here today because it is just that important. So when you are talking to resourced and ready people, you are talking to people who are resourced. That means that they have the money to buy, or will figure out how to get the money to buy, and they're ready. They're ready to buy. They're ready to solve a problem that is irritating them, frustrating them, pissing them off, whatever. They are ready to do something about it. And so that means that these people are motivated for change and they are action takers. They are ready to take action right now, today. So part of the problem, though, is that 80% of marketers are talking to the wrong people. They are talking to people who are broke, who are struggling, and who aren't willing to do the work to change.
Where is she getting these statistics from? 80% of people. Who are people? Who are these people?
They're talking to people who aren't actively looking for a solution to a problem, right? So that might be people who just complain, or people who feel like they aren't in control in their lives in any way, or who are just dreaming about a solution and aren't actually interested in what it takes to make it happen. So if that's you, no shame. None at all. 80% of people are doing it. I have done it, but it creates a really miserable experience for you and frankly, your audience and the people that you sign who are in these categories, because those people turn out to not actively be the action takers who are necessarily going to do the work, right? So if you called in a lot of people who have aspirations, who are dreamers, who they want something really big, but they are convinced that they can't have it or that they can't do it, or if they want something really big, but they aren't willing to do the work to get it, those people are going to be a struggle to work with. They're not going to be fun. So what happens when you are talking to this 85% of your audience, they don't get the best results when they come and join your programs. That's just the end outcome, is that they don't get the best results. And there are a couple of reasons for that, but
that doesn't make any sense. 85% of people that come to your programs aren't getting the best results because of your messaging. No, they're not getting results because your program fucking sucks.
Cool thing about being able to talk to resourced and ready clients is that you are in control of who you call in with your content. Okay. So what happens though when you are talking to the 85% of your audience that is broke, struggling, not motivated, not interested in doing the work to change, is that your marketing will feel like you are convincing. And if you call in people through that way of marketing, working with them will feel the same. You will be constantly feel like you are dragging them and like trying to pull them along to do the work. And it just feels like a slog for both of you, which is not fun. And
this is such a classic attitude that we see in the industry. And I know that many of you in the chat have witnessed this idea of my best clients are the ones who never message me. People should just pay me to be in my energy and they should never actually need to talk to me. They're independent and they're problem solvers and they figure it out on their own. Then why the hell are they paying you if you're not actually giving them any actual coaching? You're just there for them to feel like they're doing something? Like, I don't understand it.
We all want to work with clients who energize us, who lift us up, who light us up, who are a delight and a joy to work with. So you'll call in people who aren't a whole lot of fun to work with, that you have to convince to do the work or have to drag to do the work, or who just don't do the work at all. You'll also call in people who may not be committed to the outcomes that you offer, to the results that you offer. They might get really excited and have this big dream, but then they get inside your programs and they're like, was I really committed? Do I really want this? I don't know, maybe not. You know, they'll go back to sitting on the fence. So it's like your marketing did the work to get them inspired, to get them to take some action. But then
exactly. Zip, I actually think this comment speaks to a greater issue here. It says the key to get rich is to coach people with nothing to work on to improve. It's like piggyback on the people who are already bound for success so that you can take full credit for their success. That's the secret.
then when they actually enroll in the program, they may just sit on the fence and be indecisive. Or they may actively undermine your work. So if you do done for you work, they may undo your work, right? Because they are coming from such a place that they disagree with what you're offering them or what you do at every turn, and they will undermine you or undo your work. And they're just not fun people to work with. And I want you to know, like, this is not a judgment about anybody. It's just looking at, on the spectrum of types of clients, who do you most want to work with? Who will get the best results in your program? And knowing that we've all been in various places on those spectrum, right? Like I've been in a place in my life where I was struggling and, just surviving and didn't think that anything else was possible. I've also been in the place where I was struggling and surviving and I wanted more, but I wasn't willing to take action. And I've been in the place in my life where I was absolutely thriving and kicking ass and everything's fine. I don't want anything to change. So there's no shame in calling in those people. We just want to call in the people who are actually good fits, who are going to get the best results, who are going to do the work and who are ready to pay and ready to do that work with you. So no shame. And I'm not judging any of these people on any of the spectrum. I have been all of those people. So we just want to be sure that we're talking to the people who are resourced and who are ready to pay, who are ready to buy, who are ready to do the work, right?
We want to talk to people who have money but don't actually want us to do anything in exchange for the money. I just want clients that are going to pay me money to do absolutely nothing, preferably.
And again, that's going to be about 15% of your audience. And what shifts when you start talking to these people is that they are motivated to get the results that they want. They want the result that you are promising. They want that outcome that they have hired you for. They are committed to getting it. Even when there are obstacles, even when they get frustrated, even when it's a challenge, they are motivated. They are committed. They are actively looking to solve that particular problem right now. So that specific problem that is burning and on their mind, even if it's just like, I need a travel bag, they're out there looking for it. And so if you aren't offering it, they will keep scrolling. Or if they're reading your content and they're confused, or they feel like you're talking to somebody who's not them, they will go find somebody who's like, I got you. This is what you need. I can help you. Here is how you solve this problem.
Except I'm not actually going to teach you how to solve the problem because you already know the answer. You just need to be in my energy to figure it out. Harrison says, translation, my foolproof program only works for the already successful. Now let me tell you my rags to riches story. 100% Citrus says, so people who are ready to do the work so that they'll end up continuing to pay them. Ready to do the work, aka already have my wallet open. Where do I put my credit card? Let me know.
And they are action takers. They're going to enroll in your program and they're going to get to work. They're going to do all the pieces that you suggest. They aren't going to throw out your suggestions with, like they might not agree with your suggestions, which is totally fine and totally normal, but they're not going to throw out the concept. They're going to figure out, okay, how do I make this work for me? What's my twist on this? What's my take on this, right? And the key piece about your resource and ready audience is that they are thriving and they want more. And I think that so many people I have trained on this and talked through this, the very first thing that comes up to them is, well, but if they're thriving and they have it all, they don't have any problems. And the truth is, human nature is we will always have something that we want to solve and we will always want something more. So never be worried about that thriving people don't have problems or don't want more, right? They will always have a problem that they want solved and they will always be actively looking for a solution. That is one thing that I know about me as a human being. I can be kicking ass and taking names, having the best year of my business ever and still be like, but I wonder what the next level is going to be like. I wonder how I get there. I wonder how I make, this piece of my business work better. I wonder how I tweak and refine that part of my business. So I'm always actively looking for, am I doing the things that will get me where I want to go? And if not, what's the missing piece? How do I solve that? So
Lori is saying she has sound troubles. I have her sped up. Is it too much for people? Let me know.
Don't ever be worried that your most resourced and ready people aren't looking for a solution. Absolutely are. Yes, they have problems. Yes, they're looking to solve it right the F now. And the cool thing about when you start talking to them about their specific burning problem that they want help with right now, that they are willing to pay for, to solve right now, they start coming out of the woodwork to ask to hire you. How do I hire you? What do you do? How can you help me? Do you work with people like me? Okay. And there are some things that you can do. I call them conversation starters to get these people to self-identify, to go, oh, hey, that's me. I want some help with that thing. And that is where you really want to dive in and practice. So when you are thinking about who is my resource and ready audience, again, they are motivated to get results. They are action takers. They come in and they do the work and they are already thriving and they want more good shit.
This is quintessential word salad. I'm like really trying to listen to her and figure out what she's saying, but she's not really saying anything. I'm going to go back a few seconds and listen again.
And practice me. Okay. And there are some things that you can do. I call them conversation starters to get these people to self-identify, to go, oh, hey, that's me. I want some help with that thing.
Okay.
And that is where you really want to dive in and practice. So when you are thinking about who is my resource and ready audience, again, they are motivated to get results.
Okay. These people are motivated to get results.
They are action takers.
They are action takers. So that's essentially redundant. Those are the same thing, in my opinion.
They come in and they do the work.
They come in and do the work. Okay, so they're motivated action takers who do the work. Again, we're saying the same thing. This is like using a thesaurus. Got it? Okay.
And they are already thriving and they want more good shit.
And they're already thriving. So here's the secret, guys. If you want better leads in your business, just as some of you have already pointed out in the chat, find someone who already has a successful business, convince them to give you money. That's it. You don't have to do any work after you get their money.
Shit. They want more of whatever it is that they already have, or the next level of wherever they want to go, right? That doesn't mean that they don't have problems, but they are looking for a solution to what is currently frustrating the hell out of them right now. And they will come out of the woodwork to hire you. And here is how you do that. Here's how you make that happen. First,
Julia says, action taker equals pay me on the call. People who won't ask questions are the type of people I want to pay me.
you got to go data mine your best, most successful clients, and go back and look at your client notes. Go back and look at, if you do consults or intake forms, go back and look at what was their burning problem that they hired you for before they started working with you. What was the number one thing that was on their mind that they wanted solved right now? You can pause if you would like and go do that work, or keep listening. I'm not going anywhere. So you want to data mine. I love me a good spreadsheet. I love a good spreadsheet. So I have a spreadsheet of, this is my, top 5 most successful clients. These are the first problems that they wanted to solve, the thing that they came to me to solve. And this is what they wanted. So you want to look for what were their most burning problems that they wanted to solve right away, and what outcomes did they want? What results did they want by working with you? So go data mine your most successful clients, the people who've come into your programs, come into your services, and had the best results. What was their burning problem that they had, and what outcomes did they want? And then you want to look for.
Yes. This comment reads, so she's speaking from a place of already successful coach who has multiple clients. So this isn't for new coaches, just coaches who have stagnated. That's the impression I'm getting. I don't know, again, if there's someone, I think Isabella in the chat has worked with this coach before. Is her target market typically coaches who have already had clients? Because I'm just thinking, if she's telling me to data mine from my existing pool of clients, if I've only had 2 clients, that's not really a big pool to draw from. So I must have already worked with a handful of people.
What were the first 5 things that we had to do to help them get traction? Okay. So then you want to use their words, their phrases, the way that they describe their frustrations and their desires, and start speaking to those in your marketing, in your messaging. And I want to invite you to track those things too. I have a
Exactly. Isabella says, my problem is I want help from someone who's actually going to do the work and not just spend all their time on client acquisition and ignore me once I've paid them. And I think that that's the interesting piece to me, is so many of these coaches focus so much on how to make more money, how to get more clients, how to fill your containers, etc. But they never actually talk about the client delivery, the service delivery. And I think this is something we talk about basically every week. But again, it's a common theme we see over and over and over again. There's so much focus on how to get more clients, how to grow your business, but there's no actual conversation around developing the business, developing the offer that people want to buy, and delivering, on that offer. It doesn't make any sense once you're, oops. Sorry, our guest left his phone on my desk and I just accidentally turned it on. There we go. Just move that out of the way. Yeah, there's no focus on the actual coaching, delivering the coaching, so much as there is this obsession with how can I get as many clients as possible? How can I make more money? How can I fill my programs? Ooh. Exactly. I would be furious if I paid someone just kind of who just kind of neglected me. 100%. Okay, so Isabella says, in her mastermind when I was in it, she had a mix of both new and experienced coaches. So that's interesting to me, because where am I going to pull this data from if I haven't proven that I have a viable offer? Yeah, I could set up my own coaching site, put my cute French accent, and let the cash roll in. You should try it and report back to us. You'll be a case study here on the channel. Jackie, welcome. Better late than never. That's all I have to say. You haven't missed much. Isabella says 6 months working with her and she had no idea what my business actually was. See, this is why these people piss me off. Because again, if we're only focused on how can I get the most clients as possible, how can I get the most people into my programs, blah, 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 blah. I don't have time to focus on your specific business and your specific program or problem, especially when you're thinking like the context of group programs or masterminds where you don't necessarily have that one-on-one relationship with the coach. There's no opportunity for the coach to actually really understand your business. Sure, you might be offered, 1 or 2 one-on-one calls, but there's only so much that can be done in a 30 or 60-minute call. There's no opportunity then for the coach to really focus on understanding you, your business, your problems, and then offer a viable solution because they just likely don't have the capacity. But it's sold to you as if you are going to get that high touch support, right? So it doesn't add up. Yeah, Citrus is saying, Isabella, I would be livid. So would I. Oh, that's so awful. Business infrastructure. We don't do that here. I got to make that into a sticker. Welcome, Gwen. Harrison says, you don't need a viable offer, just better messaging. Take it from her. All you got to do is get people in the door. What you do with them after you have their money is not your problem to worry about, guys. Quit wasting your time trying to be a good coach when you could just be a good sales lady instead. Yep, it's so greedy and manipulative. In my opinion, allegedly, I agree.
Spreadsheet where I track literally everything that I post that is in this category of doing the work to figure out, am I talking to my resourced and ready clients? And here's what I want to offer about that too. There's no end to this work. That audience may be constantly shifting a little bit here and there. You always want to be a scientist in your business, researching, tracking, tweaking, trying things, and trying again. So that never stops, even for me. I'm really fucking good at this. And I'm always figuring out, okay, what else works? What else works? Okay, what didn't work? Why not? Let me see if I can tweak that and try again. So start using their words to describe their frustrations, to describe their desires, and tell them if that's them to DM you and you will help them. And then you help them by getting on a call, walking them through your process or whatever it is that your consult framework is, and offer support, offer whatever services it is that you provide. And sometimes it's going to be a sales call that you help them with. Sometimes it's going to be a training. Sometimes it might be your free thing, your lead magnet, your opt-in. You get to decide what those things are, but all of those things are done from a place of love and in service to the results that they want. You're just offering more help in the next step. So go call your dream client, resourced and ready people in, and practice, tweak, track, adjust, evaluate. What
Citrus says, use their pain points to manipulate them into paying you. Step 1 is actually to find people that have money and then use their pain points to manipulate them into paying you.
works? What didn't work? Why not? Let me tweak it and try it again over and over and over until you figure out the exact words that your resourced and ready audience responds to. And then you will have 9 to 12 options of things that you can post regularly to get these folks, your warm audience, the 15% who is already ready and already looking for a solution to their problem, to self-identify, raise their hand, and ask you for help. So you never need to cold DM people. You never need to feel like you are not in control of bringing more people and more clients into your audience. You can data mine for the people who already hired you and already gotten the best results with you, and try out the words that they use to describe their problems and the solutions that they want, the desires that they want, and practice. Practice asking these folks to raise their hand, to reach out to you, to start conversations with them. And then you can start defining, okay, what actually is it that they need?
Julia actually has a really good point here. She says sometimes you don't even need the ones with money, but the ones with credit and are very desperate. True. You know what? I think I'm going to change my strategy. And instead of targeting rich people, I'm going to target the poorest of the poor and promise them that I have the secret to get them out of poverty. You know what? Great idea. Great idea. Thank you for sharing.
What about this phrasing, this messaging worked? How do I help them in the next phase if they want more help? And then make your offer. So if you know that this is a place that you need more help, I really want to encourage you to apply to the Feminist Business Accelerator. Head over to melaniechilders.com/mastermind, and you will have all of the details there. The application is there on the page as well. It's super simple. I think there's maybe 5 questions, and then we'll just have a chat and see if it's a good fit for you. But doing this work is what creates huge momentum in your business. It is the very first thing that we work on in the accelerator to get your resourced and ready clients reaching out to you and creating a leads funnel that you can easily repeat.
Okay, I think the next 2 minutes are just going to be her trying to get us to sign up for this program. So let's go to episode number 2 here. So that was how to talk to clients who are ready to buy now. So my takeaway from that episode is find people with money, or as Julia pointed out, access to credit, and tell them you have the solution to your problem. Remember to make sure that those people are motivated action takers doing the work. Go to a thesaurus and you can find other words that also mean the same thing. But that's what we're doing here. People with money or access to credit who are going to do something so that we don't have to do anything. That was step number 1. Somebody write that down so we can come back to it later. Now we're going to move on to step number 2, which is how to speak to the results clients crave, which, again, on the theme of using a thesaurus to come up with our words, sounds pretty similar to number 1. We're going to talk to clients who are ready to buy by speaking to the results that they want. Awesome. Can't wait. When are we going to get to what we're actually teaching people? Probably never. That's my guess. Okay, let's see. I'm going to skip the first 30 seconds because it's just the intro.
Let's fucking go. Hello, 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 my friends. I hope you're having an incredible week. I am so glad to be with you today talking about results ROI. So I came up with this concept as I was scrolling through social media one day and working with clients for a very long time. And I realized that so many people talk about what they are selling, what they are offering in lots of vagaries, lots and lots of vagaries. So, for example, I saw one post recently, and I'm not going to name names, mostly because I couldn't even remember, but also because that's rude.
This is how I feel too. Julia says listening or hearing her swear is so silly. It seems so, what's the word? Like incongruent to her, the way she talks. Like, again, I don't know this woman. I haven't consumed a ton of her content other than the time that we've all shared here together on my channel. But to me, listening to the way she delivers the rest of her podcast seems so like mismatched to say like, what's up, bitches? Let's fucking go. Like, she doesn't talk like that. It's so weird. Who did your branding, lady? Because there is some inconsistencies here, allegedly, in my opinion.
But I saw this post that was about living your dream life. And then I saw another one that was about like, so you can have whatever you want.
I don't think so. James is asking, did we find out what she charges for the fucking course? I don't think we did, because she wanted me to get on a phone call was the only way. Or did Isabella, how much did you pay for the mastermind, if you don't mind sharing with the class?
So you can do whatever you want. And another that was like, so you can feel aligned. And these were like all back to back. And I was like, what is happening right now? What what are you talking about? And I realized as I like read deeper into each one of the posts, I was like, this is so incredibly vague. If you are getting any sales at all, you are incredibly lucky. And I want to say that I have been here and I've definitely done this as I was learning and figuring out marketing, and that I did get very lucky that people hired me sometimes. I can look back at some of my stuff from like 2017, 2016, 2018, and I was like, wow, I can't believe somebody hired me. Amazing.
So for those of you that are only listening, Isabella said she paid $10K for, I believe it was a 6-month mastermind.
Amazing. Fascinating. Why in the world did they hire me? Why in the world did this work? And so what I want to say is that that does not work anymore. You cannot be out here selling your stuff and being vague as hell about the results that people are going to get. It is
Okay. I want to talk about this for a second because I feel like this point she's making could get confused with something that actually happens a lot. And I mean, I've experienced it. So I just want to make sure I'm understanding her correctly. She's saying that because her messaging wasn't totally clear, people would hire her and she would be like, why did this person hire me? And kind of feel like, ooh, I don't know if I can help this person. Versus something I've experienced where I've been hired by like major corporations, for example, to create content for them. And I'm like, why the hell would they hire little old me sitting in her bedroom with her phone when they could hire a professional? And that, in the case that I'm talking about, that's like imposter syndrome, you know, like having the skill but not feeling like you know what you're doing, versus this where you literally are just so desperate to sell anything that you make up, I could help you with this and X and Y and Z and A, B, C, and then someone pays you and you're like, oh fuck, can I actually help somebody with this? Ooh, I don't know. I think that that's the difference here, but you guys can let me know if that's how you interpreted it, because that's how I'm hearing it. But I'm thinking like, if I'm listening to this podcast, I might confuse what she's saying with experiencing imposter syndrome versus like legitimately not being qualified to help someone with something and like promising people the moon when you don't have access to it.
It is a much, much harder sell when you are vague. I'm not saying that it won't work sometimes, but it is much harder road to walk as an entrepreneur. So here's what I want to share, that if you want more people DMing to hire you, more people reaching out to work with you, if you want more revenue and more impact, speak to the specific results that your resourced and ready clients and audience want to have. You got to sell them what they already want to buy, and then give them what they need in order to get the thing that they want in your programs, right? So I've heard some people call it a benevolent bait and switch. I don't think it's a benevolent bait and switch at all. It's not a bait and switch at all. It's speaking to the results that your people want and are actively looking to buy, and giving them on the back end all the pieces of the process that they need to actually make it happen.
But do you
so
have
that is the results ROI.
No. Do you actually have the skills to deliver on those promises, or are you just promising people stuff in hopes that they sign up and then having to figure it out? Whoops, I clicked a button. Can you see me? I just feel like this isn't how the real world works, right?
Sell what they already want. Sell what they will get by hiring you. So that means you.
Exactly, Monica. Monica says it's okay to have confidence, but be realistic about your abilities. Yeah, what? It's actually actively malicious. Agreed.
You can't be wishy-washy and you can't be vague. Living your dream life or having whatever you want is a really tough sell, because for somebody like me, I'm like, well, I can just go fucking get whatever I want. So what does that even mean? You know what I mean? So when you are talking to your resourced and ready clients, and if you don't know what I'm talking about, go back to episode 116. It's the last episode, and listen to that episode and you will know exactly who I mean. This is about 15% of your audience who are actively searching for a solution to a problem that feels like it is on fire for them. So they have a problem. They are ready to solve it right now. They are looking to hire someone right now, preferably you. So you've got to speak to the ROI that happens in the results once they've hired you. That is what they're actually looking to buy. That is what they are actively seeking to purchase. When you speak to the results ROI, they are already wanting that and they are ready. They basically like have their credit card or their bank card out on the table, like, okay, yes, take my money. So you want to start thinking about what are the results? What are the outcomes? What are the things that my resourced and ready audience already wants right now? How can I be really, really specific about that? How can you be really, really specific about that? Imagine that you are a fly on the wall in their life. What are they daydreaming about? What are they Googling? How do I X? Fill in the blank. How do I get Y? Fill in the blank. Put yourself in their shoes, in their life. What do they really want? And
how about we ask ourselves, do I actually have the skills to solve this problem? Like, sure, I need to figure out what people need help with, but I also need to figure out whether or not I'm the person that they should be going to, or maybe they should be hiring someone who's not me. But I guess if I did that, then I wouldn't get rich. So maybe I take that back.
it can't be the way that you think they would say it. It has to be the way that they would say it. What do they want? How would they say that to their best friend? What are they texting their best friend about this issue? I wish I could just X. I wish I could just Y. Somebody help me fucking figure out how to do A. What are they texting to their bestie? I bet that they are not texting to their bestie, if only I could live my dream life. If only I could just do whatever I want. I just want to feel more aligned. No, they're texting their bestie. What the fuck? How do I get out of this situation? How do I get that thing that I want? Somebody just tell me how to lose the last 20 pounds without, and this is a key piece, without the things that they've already tried that didn't work for them. So you also have to be thinking about, how can I position what I'm doing as new or different?
Okay, again, she's sharing information that is not entirely inaccurate. In business, in marketing, if you want to sell something, you need to understand who you're selling that product or service to, what problems they're experiencing, how you can speak to the solution that they desire. But again, she's not addressing the fundamental issue here of whether or not you are the person to deliver that service. I could know that Harrison here in the chat wants to lose weight, but that doesn't all of a sudden make me qualified to be his weight loss coach. Like, we're missing the key piece here, guys. It doesn't make any sense.
Because if it has your spin on it and your take on it, it is new and different. What makes you different? What makes your process different? Bring your expertise and your experience into, alignment here, to help them understand that this is a process that they haven't tried yet, because they haven't worked with you yet, so they haven't tried it. So you'll also want to be thinking about, so first you want to think about, what are the results are they?
Yes, Athena says this sounds like a creepy soft-spoken audiobook reading. This woman is infamous based on the 2 streams we've done of whispering while she speaks. It's very ASMR.
Outcomes that they want to experience, they already want them. How do they say those things specifically in their words? So be specific, use their words. What is it? And then think about, what have they already tried before that didn't work for them? What are the things that they don't want to have to do? And how can you help them see that yours is different and doesn't require any of those things? Okay. And then you want to really be obnoxiously specific here. Be annoyingly specific. That doesn't mean call anybody out, but it does mean act as if you are a fly on the wall in their life, watching the physical manifestation of what is happening that's pissing them off. Okay. So a couple of examples might be, stop feeling at the mercy of menopause.
That's it, guys. I'm a basketball coach now. If you missed my most recent video, I just announced it. I charge $5,000 per every 30 minutes. And I have never actually played basketball, but I will teach you how to be in the NBA. So I'm also going to become a doctor because I decided that I'm a doctor. So the next time you break your leg, call me and pay me $5,000.
Pause and lose the last 20 pounds. Who do you think I'm talking to when I say that? Woman in her mid 40s to mid 50s or older who is sick to death of the things that she has tried before not working because she knows it's her hormones and she wants to lose the last 20 pounds anyway.
Okay. Nina says, I listened to a podcast called This Bitch and it's actually good and I don't mind the name. I think context is very important. So the reason why, in my opinion, the bad bitch entrepreneur is weird is because it's supposed to be, I'm assuming, again, I don't know this woman, but this is supposed to be like a professional sort of setting almost. I don't know if that's the right word. And I just find that this is like very unique to the coaching industry, that a lot of these people will use swear words in their messaging, in their titles, in their program names, podcast titles, whatever, as a means of like trying to be relatable and edgy. And it just seems like it's being forced, I guess, is my perspective. Whereas in the context of like comedy or even like here on stream, I will occasionally swear. I feel like that's different and it's not gross or weird. It's just when you try to force it in a setting where it maybe isn't necessarily appropriate. Again, this is just my opinion. It gives me the ick. If it resonates with you, that's cool. I just think like a comedy podcast versus a business podcast, two completely different things.
You could even add without restricting your food, without giving up the foods that you love, and without working out 5 days a week. I'm like, hell yes, sign me up. You are speaking to me. You are speaking my language. It is like you have personally called my name over the loudspeaker and you are adding me. Okay. Another great example is finally take the whole family to Disney without checking your work emails while waiting in line, right? We've all seen parents do this. They're in line. They're on vacation. They're supposed to be enjoying quality time with their family and they're looking at their phones because they feel guilty and they have to check their work email. Americans, I'm looking at you. Fucking cut it out. But listen, they're not buying, have better boundaries. They're buying, I want to stop checking my emails while I'm trying to enjoy my vacation. Okay. That's the outcome that they want. What they need, part of the solution is better boundaries. Put the phone in another damn room and tell people you're out of the office and don't go look. Part of that is the conversation that you have in your head and the boundaries that you set. Okay. That's the process behind the scenes once they enroll in your program that's going to help them enjoy their vacation without checking work emails. Okay. We've got to.
But are you qualified or do you have the knowledge and understanding to teach people how to establish those boundaries? Because just because you understand someone's problem and you know what the solution is that they need, again, does not qualify you to deliver that solution. Just because Harrison wants to be an NBA basketball player and I understand that in order to get there, he needs coaching, does not all of a sudden make me a basketball coach. That's the point I'm trying to make.
The result that they want and be really specific about it. Another is scale your business to $1 million without working harder, longer hours, so you can actually enjoy the life you started your business for. That is what I do. And I love it. And that is what so many people have been reaching out to me for lately is help me sell the results, help me talk to my resource and ready audience.
Hire a copywriter if you want to learn how to speak to your ideal client. You don't need to pay a coach.
I want to figure out how to make more sales, get more consistent people coming into my audience, sell more consistently, start selling one to many so I can scale this business and have the impact that I really wanted to have. That is what people message me. That is what people hire me for. So if that's you, hi, I'm your business coach now. Head over to melaniechilders.com/mastermind. and join the Feminist Business Accelerator, where this is one of the first pieces of the work. We want to get your dream clients reaching out to you in the first 14 days and get your sales.
Boo. Okay, that was a waste of our time. Let's see if episode 3 is any better. I'm going to guess not, but you can let me know your guesses in the comments. Next, we're going to learn, holy shit, We're just learning the same thing over and over and over again. I swear to God, she must have gone to ChatGPT and just said, hey, could you take this podcast episode and rewrite it into 5 separate podcast episodes? Because I need content for my podcast and I don't have any original ideas. So let me know, because literally, okay, I'm just going to read this because I haven't read it. I actually did not read this whole page. Number 1, how to talk to clients ready to buy. 2, how to speak to results clients crave. Number 3, messaging for successful and affluent clients. Number 4, dream client messaging. Number 5, how to dial in your ideal client. So I will say the last one is a little bit different, but it seems to me that episode 1, 2, 3, and 4 are all the same thing. We're just thesaurusing it here today. I hate it. I hate it here. Ooh. Okay, what are we going to learn? In this episode, Melanie's breaking down how to talk to your specific best fit clients, folks who are successful and have the resources to pay you. Is this not the same? Okay, I got to read this again. You're talking to the wrong folks. Here's how to fix that. Only talk to the clients who are ready to buy and will get the most out of your offers. How to talk to the folks who are already successful and have the... I'm not joking. She must have gone to ChatGPT and just said, take this sentence and rewrite it in different words. Paraphrase my own work for me, please. I'm begging you.
Welcome to the show. I am your bad bitch host, Melanie Childers. I am a master certified feminist business coach, and I've helped hundreds of women make.
Exactly. Julia says, shouldn't you know your ideal client as step 1? I'm a little bit confused as to why the ideal client episode is number 5, because how do I know how to talk to my dream client, or how to make my messaging for successful and affluent clients, how to speak to the results people crave if I don't know who my ideal client is? This is just a dumpster fire.
Bank and impact in their business and out in the world. And I'm here to help you too. If you need help with how to speak to resourced, successful, affluent clients in your content and in your copy, this episode is for you. This is a Facebook Live that I recorded in my Facebook group. If you're not in there yet, I highly encourage you to be there. I go live pretty regularly. I often have tips and questions and things to help you take action in your business today. Head over to the show notes, click the link. I would love for you to join us. I'm your host, Master Certified Business Coach, Melanie Childers. This is the #1 show for entrepreneurs looking to grow and scale their business aligned with their feminist values. If you are driven to change the world for the better and you want the strategy and mindset to have the impact that you know you're here for, you're in the right place. It's time for your weekly dose of bad bitchery. Let's fucking go. So let's really talk about the 3 things that you need in order to talk to those people in your audience who are resourced and ready. And I think so many people get really confused about this. And we've talked about this in a couple of different ways before. And a lot of you have asked for this specifically, again, in a different way. So I want to share a couple of things that you can go and take and use right now today. But I want you to think about your audience as like a pie chart, like round. And I want you to know that 80% of your audience are people who are either cold or warm or might not be ready for what you have to offer. So that means 15 to 20% of your audience is looking for what you offer right now. They are looking for a reason to buy. They are actively seeking a solution to the problems that you solve already, and they are resourced, so they can afford to pay you. They want to pay you. It's like they have their credit card in their hand right now and are ready and looking. So we're going to be talking about specifically talking to those people in your audience right now. And if you have questions, pop them in the chat. Let me know. But yeah, the first thing that you want to think about when we're talking to these people is who are they? What are they passionate about that you are also passionate about? What do they care about? What are their perspectives? What is their lifestyle? What is their, who are they exactly?
Isabella, this is something that I've talked about at length, I feel like. She says, when people say they have a #1 show, #1 according to who? It always makes me laugh when I see people say, like, I have a top 1% podcast. If everyone has a top 1% podcast, who's at the bottom 99%? Genuinely asking, I want to know. Because the math isn't adding up. It's just not adding up. I don't get it.
who specifically are you talking to? Because when you are out here messaging and creating content, you want to be thinking about just one specific person. And a lot of people, I worked with a lot of clients who really struggle with this because we want to talk to everybody. We want everybody to feel included. And this is a huge mistake that I see so many people making. And when every single client that I've had, when they get really, really specific, like they're talking to one person, their content gets better, their content calls in the people that they're actually speaking to, and it shifts the way that they think about creating content so that it becomes so much easier to write, and those people start responding. So it's really important for you first to know, who exactly am I talking to? What do they care about? What are their values? What are they fired the fuck up about? What do they want? What are they currently struggling with?
Again, to Julia's point earlier, shouldn't we have already figured this out? Isn't step one step one is figure out like what you're going to sell. If you're going to sell a product or service, how you're going to sell it. Once you figured that out, you need to figure out who that product or service for. That's like step number 2 in starting any business, is determine who the client of the business is going to be. Because you can't do any of the rest of this if you don't know that. So this I just find this so frustrating because she's positioning herself as an expert, but she's giving you the information in a way that is so like miscombobulated that it doesn't make any sense. And if I'm a beginner, this isn't going to be helpful. And I guess her target audience isn't beginners, but even if I'm not a beginner and I'm just looking for a little bit of guidance in my business, the way in which she's delivering this is so out of order and confusing that it's not helpful.
I help them solve.
Allegedly, in my opinion.
Right? So we're not speaking to everybody in your audience, and we're not speaking to everybody on the planet. Okay? We're speaking to people who are resourced and who are ready. And we're speaking to people who are your best fit people that you would love more of, you would love to work with. Okay. So first things first, make sure you are talking to one specific person, and be willing to get uncomfortably specific. Be willing to be annoyingly specific as you are mapping this person out, right? What are the mindsets that are holding them back? What are the actions that they're doing that are holding them back? What is the dream that they have that your offers solve for them? Be specific, annoyingly specific. And I say annoyingly specific for a reason, because you want them to feel so almost like called out in a good way, and almost like caught out in a good way. That's like, oh my God, that's me, right?
Citrus says, if anything, it shows that she isn't good at laying out a lesson plan / path to success. It's unprofessional and looks bad on her. I think it looks bad on her from our perspective, because those of us that are watching this obviously have that little bit of skepticism. Some of us here also run businesses or have run businesses, and we understand maybe a little bit more of the nuance. I think the issue for me is that her target market, I'm assuming based on just the information that she's sharing publicly, is people who aren't going to ask questions. It's people who maybe don't fully understand these concepts. And to them watching this, they're not going to have the knowledge or the experience to understand that this information is being delivered in a way that's incredibly confusing. And instead, they're going to hear this and think like, wow, this is really helpful. But then they're going to have issues when it comes to the actual implementation of this information, because it's being delivered in a way that doesn't make sense. But they're not going to have the wherewithal to know that the reason why it's so hard to implement is because it doesn't make sense. I don't know if I'm making sense right now, but in my head, it makes sense. In my head, it makes sense that this doesn't make sense, okay?
Right? It's like you want them to feel like they're walking through a crowded airport and suddenly they hear their name and they're like, oh shit, they're talking to me. Oh my God, that's me. Okay. So then I have 3 points that I really want to make for you today. And just feel free to drop in the chat where this comes up for you, how this is showing up for you. And if you have some examples you want to work through, let's work through them. So the first is that you really want to be what I call like priming them to buy. And what I don't mean here is manipulation. We're never trying to manipulate people or convince people that.
We don't manipulate here. We just prey on people who are in vulnerable positions and offer them the opportunity to solve all of their problems so they don't have to face their pain anymore, okay? It's not manipulation, it's problem solving.
They need to buy. The thing is, they already want what you're offering. They already want the solutions that you have. They already want the dream that you are giving when, as a result of the work that they do with you. You're just getting them to mentally see themselves in your stories, in painting that dream for them so that they're thinking, yes, that is what I want, right? You're just telling them what they already want, right? So a great example that I've used with my launches is you want more clients. You already have clients. You want more of them. And my people mentally go, yes, I do. Right? It's that simple. It's not complicated. And it's thinking through, like, what do they really, really want? What are the outcomes that they really, really want? And then tell them that is what you want. The people who don't want that won't keep reading. And the people who do will go, oh my God, yes, I do. What else you got? What else you got? What else you got? Hey, Sarah, nice to see you. So you want them to be thinking when they're reading your content, yes, that's me. Yes, I want that. That's like their subtext after everything that you write. Yes, that's me. Yes, I want that. Yes, I want more of that. Yes, I want what you are offering. Yes, I totally want to talk to you about this. So that when they come to the offer, they're ready to say yes. They've already said yes and agreed with you all the way down. And then when it comes to your offer, they're like, yeah, duh, this is obviously the solution.
This comment, it's not manipulation, guys. Source, trust me. James is asking if we know anything about her career accomplishments, academic achievements, anything. I don't think we looked at that last week. Let's take a little detour from this episode and see what her website says, because I don't recall reading her about page, but maybe we did and I'm just having amnesia. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, where do you tell me who you are? Blah, blah. So this whole page is just speaking you, buy my program. Here we go. More about me. So it takes me almost, if you look at the little scrolly thing here, almost to the very bottom of the page till I figure out who she is. So she's talking about her Peloton. She went to college. She was a stripper. She was a tarot reader. She had breast cancer. She has a husband. She likes to drink non-alcoholic cocktails. She is a yoga instructor. That's it. And then she has these 2 certifications. So she's a life coach school graduate and a Susan Hyatt master certified coach. Who is Susan Hyatt? Master certified life and business. Oh God, guys, we're opening a rabbit hole I did not know we were going to go down today. I'm a master certified life coach. Okay, by who? Who are you? Okay. I got 15 years of experience. I wrote a book, blah, blah, blah. Okay, that's it. Does anyone know who this woman is? And she just has a life coach school? Who is she a master certified life coach with? Brooke Castillo? Hoy vey. So to answer your question, James, that's my answer. I don't know. I don't know what's happening. The whole life coach industry is just so incestuous at this point. Oh, God. I'm sorry I asked. Oh, no. Yeah, I love made-up certifications. Guys, I think now is a perfect time for me to announce that I'm going to be launching my own life coaching certification. It'll be $1. You pay me $1 and I'll email you a certification. That's it. That's the program. A fake certificate from the internet. Oh my God. So funny. I've heard of her, but I've never seen any of her stuff. I will add her to my list. Maybe we can take a look at her in a couple weeks. I already have a plan for next week, so maybe the week after that. Yeah, the family tree is more like a wreath. 1000%. It's like a spider web. I think that's what I called it when we did the stream where we created the pyramid. Anyway, back to today's programming.
This is obviously my next step. Okay. It gets them ready for the yes because they've already said yes to the things that they already want. You're just reminding them of what they already want. Okay. So it might be, yes, I want more clients. Yes, I want to lose the last 20 pounds. And it might sound like you have gone through, you've done every diet on the planet. You still want to lose those last 20 pounds. Yes, I do. You've tried everything. You still want to lose those last 20 pounds.
Oh, welcome to the membership, Zurify. Welcome, welcome, welcome. If you're just joining the stream right now, I will let you all know, if you are a member, a channel member, there is a video scheduled to come out once I get off the stream. I will make it public, or I will make it members only. It'll come out to the rest of you on Wednesday, but if you are a channel member, you can look forward to a fun little video coming out whenever we're done here. Exactly. Isabella says, just a piece of paper we have to print ourselves, no postage. Of course, for $1, you're just paying me for the amount of time it takes me to type your name into the certificate. And it looks like we have our first certified life coach. Harrison, welcome. Congrats on completing the program. I love to see it. Monica's certified too. Oh, I'm so proud of you guys. I can't wait to start consuming your life coach content. Congratulations. I can't believe it. Guys, I just opened my own life coach school and I already have 2 very successful students. So this is incredible. Thank you so much for supporting my life coach school. Oh, I'm crying. This is so good. Okay, how do I hit play?
Yes, I do. Or you want better and better boundaries so you can say no without feeling like a bitch, right? You're just telling them what they already want and what they already think. Okay. So again, perfect example. I do this with my launches. Feel free to go back and read my emails. I talk about this pretty regularly and on the podcast as well. You want them to mentally get ready to say yes to your offer. And that's
For those of you that are listening, Citra says, I'm so glad I was here to witness such momentous steps in all of your coaching career journeys. Stay tuned for when Monica and Harrison create their own life coaching certification next week.
really important when it comes to making offers and it comes to speaking to the right people. Because again, the people who don't want that will stop reading and keep moving. And the people who do will get more and more and more invested because they're like, yeah, oh my God, you see me, you know me. And increases your know, like, and trust and gets them ready to buy. So number 2 is that you want to be talking to people who are already successful. This again is the 20% of your audience who are resourced and ready to buy.
Oh, only talk to the successful people. Harrison says, as my first decree as the newest Danielle Ryan certified life coach, behold my first pearl of wisdom. Speak to your ideal client. Make sure they have money. Don't ask questions. Now pay me $5,000. See, that's what we're talking about. Return on investment. You pay me $2, you get $5,000 in return. Guys, don't sleep. Get certified today.
They're already successful. That means that they are not beginners. They are not brand new. They are not green. They are not struggling. They are already successful and they want a missing piece. They want to keep learning, or they want even more success than they've already had, right? The reason for this is that when you are talking to people who are struggling, it brings in sometimes that sort of victim mentality. Not that people are victims, I'm not saying that, but we can get into that mentality.
We love a woman who shames her clients. If you don't get success, it's your fault. You didn't try hard enough. You have a victim mentality. It's your problem, not mine.
Where our mindset is fixed and we don't believe we can actually have more. And what you want to be doing is ferreting out those people who might identify with struggling, drowning. They're going to need a lot of handholding. And ultimately, they're not going to get the best results from your program if they need a heck of a lot of handholding. Unless you work with beginners, then keep talking to them. They're going to need your help. Not saying we don't help them, but if you are wanting to talk to people who are already successful, you have to make sure in your messaging, you're actually speaking to them. So that means no, like, lose your first 20 pounds, right? Or your first diet, or your first $10,000, or your first sale, right? If you want to be speaking to people who've made hundreds of thousands, you can't be talking about your first 10K. You want to be speaking to the next 100K or the next 10K or the next level of clients or the next group program or the next launch, right? Or the missing pieces. So to do that, you have to think about, what do they already know? What do they already do?
Damn, sorry, I have to pause this because I just checked from my back end. Zerify joined the billionaire tier. You know what this means? You are now invited to our exclusive club where we talk on Google Meets. So you don't have to pay me $5,000. You get this for free. So send me your email and I'll email you. Send me your email and I'll email you. My email should be in the description of this episode, live stream. If it's not, find me on Instagram. Let's connect because we're scheduling our call for this week. So you're in the exclusive club. It didn't notify me that you signed up for the billionaire tier, so I didn't address that initially, but I just want to say Welcome to the rich club.
What do they already have that they want more of, right? So if it's clients, you already have clients, you want more of them. You've already sold paintings, you want to sell more. You've already run a marathon, now you want an Ironman, right? You've already lost 10 pounds, now you want to lose the last 10. Whatever it is specific to your niche, think about the person who is not just starting out, who is not struggling, who wants more success. One of my clients has recently made this shift, and she had previously been talking to people who were beginners, who were just starting out, who were struggling. And what she has found is she has shifted to people who are already successful. Now she's talking to experts and she's calling those people in. They have, fewer concerns about spending money. They want what they want, and they want the best person to teach them how to get it. And she's positioned herself that way, and her teaching reflects that. And so, yes, she can still create a program for beginners.
Again, this is very much highlighting the problem I have with this part of the coaching industry as a whole. This idea of, well, if you want people to just pay you more money, all you have to do is position yourself as an expert who knows more. So, like, why target beginners when you could target 100K business owners and then they'll pay you more money? Like, maybe because you don't have the skill set to help those people and you can't just fake it till you make it. Actually, this brings up a video that maybe will come out in the next couple of weeks. I haven't filmed it yet, but I became privy to a bunch of posts from a woman that someone shared in the Life Coach Snark subreddit. And basically, not to spoil the video that I'm going to make because we're going to look at a ton of her content, but in the video that was shared in the Reddit thread, it was like this woman paid $250,000 for a VIP day. And then after she attended that VIP day, she suddenly was like, well, now I'm qualified to charge $250,000 for a VIP day. And I'm like, just because you paid someone else a certain amount of money doesn't all of a sudden make you qualified to charge that amount for your services. Mind you, I don't think anyone should be charging $250,000 for a single day of coaching, but that's not the point. My point is, just because you convince yourself you should be worth something doesn't actually mean that what you're offering is worth that amount of money. It's just mental gymnastics.
But the difference in the languaging and the messaging behind each one of those offers is going to be, this is for you if you are just starting out, if you're ready to make your first 10K, for example. And this other thing is for you if you're ready to make your next 100K, your next million. They're different audiences with different problems and a different solution for each. So the messaging has to be different too. So we will talk more about when to create groups and how to create groups later. But I want you to really, really think about, how do I talk to the people who are ready right now, who are already successful, who've already had a measure of success, and now they want the next thing? The trick here so often is that we think that people who are successful don't have any problems. Not true. They just have a next level of problem, even if they've had success.
Exactly. Isabella says, my kid got braces, so now I'm going to put braces on people. I had dental surgery 6 months ago, so whoever wants to come over to my house, I'll put you to sleep and I'll yank your teeth out, because obviously I did it. Now I can actually do it, right? That's how it works. Osmosis, baby.
They have another level of problem. New level, new devil. So you have to think sometimes, perhaps a little bit harder, about what is this next level person's problems. This person who's already achieved some success, now what? So I did a program earlier in the year about getting fully booked and messaging in order to get fully booked. And then I started thinking about, okay, what comes after that is the Feminist Business Accelerator. And if you have not applied for that, I highly recommend that you go apply, melaniechilders.com/mastermind. But I started thinking about, okay, now what happens after they get fully booked? Okay, now they're going to want to start a group. Now they're going to want to start to scale. Now they're going to want to think about, how do I go from having a packed schedule full of clients to fewer one-on-one clients and more sustainable business and time for myself, so that I can create the things that will truly help more and more and more people. So you have to start thinking from that level.
True,
the person
Citrus.
who's already got what they
Citrus says, I mean, there's people already doing veneers illegally in America, so it's already happening. They stole my business idea. How dare they?
want, and what is their next problem going to be, and speak to those people. If you have any questions, drop them in the chat. I'm here to answer you. I'm here to help you. All right. So it is so easy, I think, for so many of us to use ourselves, and we've been taught this, to use ourselves and our previous struggles as a template. And in my experience, this is why so many of us struggle to talk to the people who are ready to buy and who have the funds to buy, because we're taught to use ourselves as an example. And then we identify with our struggle so much that we assume everybody else is struggling in the same way. And so we talk about and lean into, because we're taught this too, we lean into the pain points and we lean into agitating the pain points, because we've been taught to do that. And we've been taught, of course, yes, human psychology is that people identify with emotion. And so so much of the teaching out there is to agitate the pain. And what we actually want to do is touch on it and then talk about the dreams, the things that they want. Okay. So talk to the people who are already successful and talk to the people who can afford what you're offering. Yeah, Stephanie, I'm talking specifically to you. Stephanie says, I think my issue is I don't know how to talk to resource clients because I am not resourced, not anywhere near as resourced as I would like to be. I have very wealthy clients. They need emotional help. It always blows my mind how I have the emotional stuff down, but I struggle with the money stuff. Yeah, broke from being a stay-at-home mom for 15 years, giving up my career and starting over after divorce. I totally feel you, Stephanie. And I think that this is going to help you. So part 3 is to talk to people who have the money to afford what you're offering. They're already in your audience, as you know, because they're already your clients. And what they value, people who have more money have less time. It tends to be the seesaw effect. Either you have no money and you have lots of time, or you have lots of money and you have no time. That tends to be, not always true, but tends to be what happens out in the world in general. And so
Isabella says, I'm confused. Me too. I don't know what's happening. I lost track.
So the things that those people identify with, they don't identify with struggling. They buy whatever they want whenever they want it. And the thing that they tend to be looking for are, how can you save me time? And how can you make something that is...
James is asking, why harp on feminism? No males welcome. We don't like men here. We are in the business of lady bossing, girl bossing, boss babing. We do not have time for masculine energy. It's not welcome here. I don't understand the male brain. I only work with the women.
Convenient for me. And also, how can you help me have a little bit more of the status that I want? This is not necessarily everybody, but it might be true in your niche, depending on what it is. But think about, how does my offer help them get where they want to go faster? If time is an issue, how do I make their lives easier, make their lives more convenient? How do I help them get where they want to go?
Oh my God, I'm bored. This is messaging 101. If you own a business, step 1, figure out who your ideal client is. Step 2, figure out what problems that ideal client faces. Step 3, offer them, or not offer them, but like figure out how your product or service solves that problem for them and then offer them that solution. That's it. That's what she's saying here in this 30-minute dissertation. I'm going to stop it because I'm bored. I hate this. Let's go to the next one. I'm sure it's probably the exact same as well, but I'll give her the benefit of the doubt. Just to sum up, figure out who you're selling to, what their problems are, speak to that solution in your messaging. There you go. I just saved us 15 minutes. Let's see what's next. Dream client messaging. Today I'm diving into the nitty-gritty of the major changes currently shaking the market for online entrepreneurs. Things have changed and a more strategic approach is required to effectively reach your ideal clients. Let's see.
Hey, Bed. And you are speaking specifically to the reasons that they buy and what they're looking for when they're buying right now, especially when people are being a little bit more cautious in the market. So enjoy this live that I did in my Facebook group. And if you love it, you should join the Facebook group. It's called Bad Bitch Entrepreneurs. Come join us. I do lives and talks like this every week or so. And I would love to see you there and help you continue to support your business in the Facebook community. So join us there, or you can head over.
Citrus says, I feel like this next one will really unlock our potential. I think this one's going to be way different than any of the other content we've already listened to because so far, you know, she did 3 episodes that were the exact same. So I'm very, very confident that this one's going to be totally, completely new information.
Over to my website at melanieschilders.com and join the Facebook group at the top of the page. All right, enjoy today's episode.
Welcome to the Bad Bitch Entrepreneur Podcast. I'm your host, Master Certified Business Coach.
Perfect. So hi, I'm going to tag everybody so y'all know I'm here. All right, perfect.
Okay, so does she record these in a Facebook group and then she just takes the Facebook group and turns it into a podcast? I know there's other people. I think Amanda Francis was one. There's a couple people that we've reacted to on the channel that use this format, but if anyone knows, let me know.
So I want to go live today to talk to you about your dream client messaging, because so much of what I'm seeing out in the market right now and about market changes right now is that there's a lot of shifts in the market happening. So a lot of people are feeling a little overwhelmed or a little burned by, I know a lot of you are coaches, by coaches right now specifically, or they have been burned in some other way in the business world. And so what
Citrus is asking if she's recording on AirPods. It sounds like it. It sounds like she's doing a Facebook Live, probably wearing AirPods or through her like computer speakers and then posting it. I love that.
I'm seeing right now is that like what worked for you in 2020 and 2021 and even into 2022, you could just post on social media and you could probably make some sales. One post, you might get a sale, you might get two, 5 or 10 posts, you might get a couple of sales or at least some calls booked. And that has changed drastically for so many of you. So I wanted to hop on and talk about what is happening in the market and talk about this mismatch between your dream clients, your offer, the way that you're talking to them, and your messaging. So if you would do me a favor and let me know in the chat that you can hear me okay, that you are here. Just want to make sure that y'all can hear me okay. And I am curious about what you are seeing, what you particularly think that you are struggling with when it comes to your marketing, your messaging, and your selling. What I'm noticing is that for so many people, there's an offer, there's the selling that you're doing, there's the marketing that you're doing, but it's not landing with your dream clients right now. And so for a lot of people, sales have stalled. So if that feels like you, like drop a comment, like no shame, that's happening across lots of industries right now. And I really want us to normalize that that is happening. There's nothing wrong with you. Okay. This is happening literally across the board. Like big companies like Home Depot, Lowe's, they are freaking the fuck out because they were expecting that COVID trajectory, that huge income trajectory to keep going. And it's not. People are buying differently in this market right now. And so,
Or maybe in the case of your business, people are waking up to the scam and they no longer want to support it. Maybe, allegedly, in my opinion. I was actually I saw a post on Threads today from my friend Maggie, also known as No BS Business on Instagram. And she was talking about how she's noticed a lot of these like bigger name coaches are starting to enter their soft era, as they call it, where they're working less, they're hustling less, they're working with fewer clients. You know, maybe they're scaling back from having a group program or a mastermind to doing one-on-one, basically like doing the reverse in their business of where they started from. So most people start in one-on-ones, then they scale up to group programs, masterminds, memberships, etc. Basically so they can be more hands-off and make passive income, I say with air quotes. And what we're seeing now is a lot of coaches having to return back to actually delivering the services in their business, but they're positioning it, they're using their messaging to frame it as, you know, I've chosen this consciously. I've chosen to scale back my business. I no longer want to make 7 figures. I'm just going to be comfortable making, you know, 100K or whatever it is. When I think, in my opinion, and this is a similar sentiment to what Maggie shared, I think these people are having a hard time filling these programs. They're not getting as many clients as easily as they were, maybe in the height of the pandemic, like this woman was saying. And rather than admit, you know, my business model is no longer working, they're instead trying to frame it as if it was a conscious decision that they made, when instead I think what's happening is they're kind of being forced to change their business model because people aren't buying it the way they would have 5 years ago.
for a lot of you, you started your business during the pandemic or right before the pandemic, and you haven't had to learn yet how to pivot. You haven't had to learn how to make adjustments when the market shifts. And this is a skill that you have to build. But
Harrison says the soft era equals personal growth year versus revenue growth year. So if you watched my stream that I did where we listened to Stacey Bayman talk about her, I don't know if it was the data study stream or the stream before that, but we listened to an episode where she talked about a personal growth year versus a revenue growth year. And basically it was like a word salad way of saying that if your business isn't doing as financially well as it was last year, it's because you're working on developing yourself personally and you're not focused on growing the revenue. It's like, rather than me admit I can't scam people anymore, I'm just going to try and, you know, phrase it. And I don't know if they do it to make themselves feel better. I don't know if they do it so that people don't see them as a failure and it ruins their credibility. But to me, it would be much more interesting for these people to openly admit, like, okay, maybe what I was doing before was kind of scammy and people are waking up to the scam. So here's how I'm going to right what I was doing. You know, like it seems gross to me to not take accountability. Yeah, the unbundling era, that's another word that people have seen. That's another word I've seen people use, I mean. Yeah, Phoenix says, an old coach I worked with released a course called The Soft Life. I'm screaming. It's really funny to me because I've seen a few of them doing like soft girl program or soft era or whatever, and they're like making it their whole brand now. Meanwhile, these are the same women that were girl boss hustling too close to the sun 4 years ago. It's very interesting that they can make transitions. I'm not saying people aren't allowed to change their opinions and, pivot what they do. Obviously, that would be hyper or super hypocritical of me to say as someone that's changed my business a cajillion times. But it's the fact that they don't do it with transparency and they try to like twist it and brand it in a way of like it being a conscious decision, when no, if your business started failing, tell us that your business started failing and tell us what you're doing instead to fix it. You don't have to paint it as this like, I just care so much about myself, I'm gonna start, entering into my soft girl era. Like, no, I was forced here.
See, is to look at ourselves and think that there's something wrong with us and that we are fundamentally screwed, that we suddenly don't know how to do business or make sales. And so what I first want to do is say, it's not you, it's the market. And for what you have to do is be willing to pivot your messaging to shift the way that things work in your business. You might have to create some new offers. Right now, what's selling is the super high ticket offers because those people still have money. Those people are still buying. The middle class is shrinking up a little bit because of inflation, because the world has opened back up again, but their spending habits may not have changed. So they might still be ordering a fuck ton of shit from like Amazon and buying that luxury handbag, but grocery prices have gone up, gas prices have gone up. The kids are going to summer camp. Their kids need stuff for school, right? So thinking about like, what are the smaller ticket offers that I can put out there? And I don't mean necessarily super cheap, but you might have an under $1,000 offer and know that, the $1,000, $5,000 offers might be slower to sell right now, but the 10 5-figure offers, those are still moving. So just knowing like, do I have a client messaging match for each offer? And am I communicating that through my marketing so that those people know I see you, this is for you, and I have got you. I have the solution. So know that your ideal client may be different and usually is for every offer. So like in the back end of my business right now, I have the Sell Like a Feminist course. That is a $300 to $500 offer. I think the price is changing after this round ends. And then I also have a mini mind, which I'm going to tell you about because this is specific to this problem. That is a $2,000 offer. And then I have a mastermind, and that is a $15K offer for the entire year. But each of those audiences are going to be a little bit different, right? The people who are coming to the mastermind, I'm not their first coach. They already have a business. They're already successful. They're already kicking ass and taking names, and they just need a little bit more tightening up with a little bit more things. The people who are coming to the mini mind, that is a specific focus to work on messaging, marketing, and selling, especially online. So
Monica is asking, so not be too expensive. I think the idea is be super expensive, but then also have a cheap offer so you can hit both markets. That's how I'm here interpreting this anyway.
So that you have that shit tighten up, and then you will like work those things and be ready for something like the mastermind once you have nailed those things down. And in the course, you don't have to have had a coach. I teach you how to coach yourself. I walk you through the process that I use most of the time for coaching. I teach you how to sell and how to start making money, even if you've never made money before. And it's also useful for people who've made lots of money, but who want to learn how to make money a different way. So
Okay. No. I work with people who have never made a sale, but I also work with people who are super successful. But make sure that you're super specific in your messaging, because if you're vague, you're not going to get clients. And yet, what is she doing? She's being super fucking vague. You cannot have clients who are all beginners, but then also people who have made a ton of sales but want to find a different way to make sales. Those are two different people. So am I making messaging for my dream client, or am I making messaging that appeals to everyone? Make it make no sense.
you might have to think about, who is my offer for? Who are those people? What exactly are they looking for? What are the prerequisites that they need to have or have to have in place? Who specifically are they? Are they ambitious? Are they struggling? Are they starting at the very beginning of their journey? Are they already really advanced and just want like the 2% tweaks? Like, just give me exactly what I need to help me keep moving forward and keep achieving. So let me read some of the comments. Megan, sorry. I think I'm having a hard time selling small things. I'm pretty good at getting people to invest in my bigger program. Yes, my little neurodivergent summer camp I'm running next week. Crickets. I haven't nailed down the marketing. Part of me still doesn't totally know what problem my summer camp solves. It's just fun. Yeah, you're going to need to connect that to it solved a specific problem. Fun is awesome. Like, that's like a bonus. That's a nice to have, but people aren't necessarily going to buy just because it's fun. So you might want to think about, like, what specific problem does this solve and how are we going to solve it? How am I going to walk them through?
So now we're getting specific again. Lady, make up your mind, because you're giving me different information in every sentence. It's all contradicting each other.
Exactly what it takes to solve it. Jasmine says, I only have one offer, $1,500 for 3 months. Should I be worried about that? Should I be offering a longer container for a higher price? That is a really good question. So I would think about, for you specifically, I think it's just going to be small tweaks. I let you illume in the Sell Like a Feminist course on some things to tweak and get more specific about in your bio and with your hooks and your calls to actions. I think for you, it's just going to be more specificity and more repetition. You just got to show up for them a lot. And so coming back to that, it used to be that you could drop a couple of posts online and have people buy. And now what is happening is that attention spans are shorter and money is a thing that's on a lot of people's mind. So what I would think about is how often can I get myself in front of them?
Or hear me out. Maybe it doesn't have anything to do with the attention spans. Maybe it doesn't have to do with people's money because, again, the people that are going to buy regardless. Maybe, and this is just a hypothesis, if you will, maybe people are becoming more skeptical about random chicks on the internet telling them they have the secrets to getting rich. Maybe that's crazy. Maybe that's a wild assumption for me to make. But have you ever considered that maybe people are waking up to the grift? Maybe. What do you guys think? Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know.
Even if it's just a one sentence value or a one sentence question or a one sentence like, here's a truth bomb you need to know. Here's a PSA you need to know. Because you want to get repetitively in front of them often. 1 or 2 times is not going to cut it. They're going to need 20 to 50 touches from you. So like they need to see 20 to 50 posts from you. And so that doesn't mean it has to be this long drawn out story. Just one little piece, one little drop is enough to help them see that you are an expert, that you have credibility, that you know what the fuck you're talking about, that you can help them solve this problem.
So we can no longer manipulate people in one video. Instead, we must create a 50 video series of manipulation points. We'll call them manipulation points, touch points, if you will, in order to slowly indoctrinate people into believing that we have the solution. Because we used to be able to just dupe people with like a single Facebook ad. We can't do that anymore. We actually have to welcome them into our container and then slowly infiltrate their brain. That's how we're going to do it, folks, okay? You got it? Everyone got it? Everyone understand? Let me know in the chat if you understand what we're doing here. Yeah, definitely waking up. People are waking up for sure. Absolutely. %100%. Citrus says it's interesting because their own greed has diluted the market to such a point that it has exposed the grift. I absolutely agree. Harrison says, get repetitive. Make the same podcast episode in 5 different flavors. Guys, if you want to market to your ideal client, all you got to do is come up with one idea and then go to ChatGPT and say, can you make this podcast, YouTube video, TikTok, Instagram reel, carousel post, whatever it is? Can you please make this into 5 more posts about the same thing? Please paraphrase this concept for me so I can repost it 50 times. Thank you. Yeah, people are no longer falling for these scams. All the Huns will become coaches. I'll cut from their clients. Yeah, the MLM Hun to coaching pipeline is strong. Yeah, this is her priming us. We must be had. I think so.
So Meg says, my summer camp folks are hesitant. They aren't super
I'm feeling my wallet open every word that I listen to.
confident in their neurodivergent identity. So they're hesitant to invest in something they aren't sure is for them. So my marketing has to make sure they feel included and seen. Yes, absolutely. Yeah, they got to know, is this for me? That's normal human brain shit. They have to know, who is this for? Is it for me? And you also want to think about like, who exactly am I talking to? So a lot of the market is becoming a bit more what I call like the investigators. They are doing a lot of research. They are doing their due diligence. They want to see that they're going to get the bang for their buck and a huge value for what they're spending their money on. That's not to say that they aren't going to spend money. They're just more price conscious. And so knowing, hey, they're going to need some reassurances from me, and they're going to need to know exactly what we're going to do and exactly what they're going to get so that they can connect the dots. And so you might have to do a little bit more work connecting the dots for them on what they're going to get, who it is for, exactly the way that you're going to proceed through the process. So Meg, if your summer camp is like 6 weeks long, what are you going to do every week? Tell them. They need to know. They need to be able to see the dots being connected for them. They're also going to look more for, show me your expertise, show me your client results that are not so ridiculously sky high that I can't see myself in them, right? You got to think about what are the small shifts that are going to be really valuable for them too, and how can I demonstrate that? So maybe that's with a client testimonial, a client story. Some case studies are always really helpful for your dream clients to see themselves and to see that you know what you're talking about. So you also have the folks that I call achievers. For those of you who are in the Sell Like a Feminist course, I'm covering all of this in next week's training.
Again, remember, guys, we only work with people who are motivated, already taking action. And I already forgot what the other one was, but it's just another synonym for the word motivated. So those are the people, the action takers, the motivated, the The people who are doing stuff, those are the people that we work with. Okay, got it? Write that down. Write it down. Grab your pen and paper, write it down.
We'll also dive even further into this in the Fully Booked Mini Mind. In August, we'll just do like an hour and 15 minutes or an hour and a half over 4 weeks. So if you are interested, hit me in the DMs. But you also want to be thinking about, who else am I talking to and what
Harrison says, can you imagine her saying this to you for 6 weeks straight? My brain already melted after 90 minutes. Isabella, how is your brain doing after 6 months of this?
else do they need? So you also have people in your audience who are going to be like the high achievers, who are already successful, who are already kicking ass and taking names, and who want more identification with the fact that they are achievers.
Okay, my camera is about to die, so we're going to switch to my webcam, so bear with me.
So if you're talking about their overwhelm, their struggle, their exhaustion, that is not going to land for them. They are not going to be able to see themselves in the struggle. They're going to be like, I'm not struggling. Like me, I'm not struggling. I'm good. I just want more of what I got. Talk to me. Talk to that version of them. And think about like what they focus on is like more success, more achievement. How can you specifically help me get ahead? How can you specifically help me use my unique gifts to my advantage? What unique gifts do you have that help me use my unique gifts to an advantage? So speaking to those people is going to be really helpful too. Those two folks, your achievers and your investigators, are going to make up the bulk of your audience right now. And that's not to say that, that these people aren't buying. They are ready to buy, but they need lots of reassurance and lots of good reasons to buy. So
Isabella's asking, which thing is she selling exactly? Way too many offers. That's the part I'm really confused about, because she's going on this like soapbox rant about how we need to know who we're selling to, and we need to have, you know, offers that are worth a lot of money and then offers that are more affordable. And it's like, how can I possibly be selling 20 different things to, again, beginners, but I'm also working with people who have businesses? How can I do all these things effectively? You can't. That's, at the end of the day, businesses that are successful are the ones that really double down on offering a single product or service, and they get really good at delivering that one thing, and then they scale. But it's just like, I'm confused. As someone who doesn't know her, I don't know her business. I thought that downloading her freebie, I would maybe, you know, learn a little bit about who she is and why I should listen to her. And after listening to 5 podcast episodes, all I can tell you is that I absolutely would not hire this person because I don't know what she's selling.
What worked for you in 2020 and in 2021 is not going to work for you now. You cannot be vague. You cannot be flowery. You cannot go into this like super woo feminine, flowing on the wind, flowery language. Like that's just not going to work for most people. They need to see specific outcomes, clear messaging, solutions. What do you solve? How?
Okay, so what do you solve then? What do you solve for me? If I'm your ideal client, what are you solving for me? Please let me know.
Do you solve it? And a specific path from point A to point B, right? They need that reassurance that you've got them and that you know exactly what you're talking about. You can demonstrate your expertise and your certainty, and that you can demonstrate your credibility. And so again, like you can't just drop 1 or 2 posts. You're going to need 20 to 30, maybe even 50 touches, and not just in like over a month, like next week, right? Like they need to see you demonstrating your expertise, you demonstrating your thought leadership, you demonstrating your knowledge and your help, and landing with exactly where they are right now without talking down to them or talking about like going deep into the struggle. It's just like,
okay, I will say that like this is true when it comes to building an audience. Like I started posting content on TikTok, for example, back in 2021, and I probably posted for like 6 months before I really started gaining traction. Mind you, I never like took that audience and turned it into like a business coaching thing. But let's just pretend that I did want to do that. It does take a lot of time to, you know, consistently post and convince people, for lack of a better term, that you have experience in something or that you're knowledgeable in a specific subject. But again, it's like, am I actually qualified in the things that I'm talking? Again, if she's talking to people that already have businesses, you shouldn't need to post 50 times before people are going to want to buy from you, because you should already be positioned as an expert. Like something just isn't adding up here for me.
like just mention the pain point. Oh yeah, I have that. I'm doing that. Okay, how do I solve it? They're looking for answers more quickly and solutions more quickly than they want to feel like you're drowning them and twisting them into the pain point. They don't need all that. So speak to your successful people. Speak to people who are resourced and who are ready to pay. They exist right now in your audience. And you might have to do some more work this year to work on growing your list and bringing more of those people into your communities and into your email list. And think about the people who, they love what you say. They want what you have to offer. They're ready to buy, and they want convenient solutions. They want you to help them save time. They want you to help them. Some of them in your audience are going to want you to help them save money down the road. But a lot of them are looking for, can you give me some convenient solutions to help me save time, to help me live the life that I want to live? And can you give me more bang for my buck? What's in it for me? what's in it for me? This is why it's so important not to take what's happening right now in the market personally, because it's not about you. They're thinking about what's in it for me. Can I see myself in this call to action? Can I see myself in this offer, right? So go look at your sales pages, go look at your offers, look at, is it clear who it's for? And you might even have a section that says, this is for you if you are this type of person, you are doing this type of.
Again, hire a copywriter if this is something you want help with. Do not pay this woman thousands of dollars to help you with your messaging when she's not either a branding expert or a copywriter. Like, this just proves to me that so many of these coaches operate outside of the scope of coaching and think that they are business consultants, copywriters, branding experts, etc.
Thing you have been through X, Y, and Z. You want A, B, and C, right? So you got to be very, very.
But this also makes, sorry, I keep pausing. This also makes a lot of sense. I'm just like thinking on the fly because we just looked at her website. We saw her about page and how poorly written it was and how it was kind of just like about you, but then never really told us who she is or what her qualifications are. I'm going to guess she did it herself. She didn't hire a copywriter. So now this is all making sense because now she's like, well, I did it myself, so I can teach you how to do it yourself.
Very clear and paint it for them. Be specific. So this is what we start working on in the Fully Booked Mini Mind. We focus first.
Thanks, John.
Week
Mark.
one,
Have a
I'm
good
going to just
night,
give you an
day,
example right
morning,
now.
whatever
Week
time
one,
it is,
we
wherever
focus
you are.
on your dream client avatar, who they are, who they need to be, what they need to have done, all the things that are going to solidify all of the prerequisites, and you getting hyper-focused, super fucking clear on exactly who that person is and what they need from you and what they want from you and what they want from your offers. And then week two, we're going to work on how and why that person buys. So we're going to dive more into the achiever persona, more into the investigator persona, and a couple of others just to help you really get a handle on how are they buying, why are they buying, what drives them away, so how not to talk to them, so that you can start tweaking and refining your messaging. And then week three, we're going to actually do those messaging tweaks to match your price, your offer, and your dream client. And then week four, we're going to turn that focus to your sales pages. So we're going to focus on your marketing. We're going to focus on your sales pages. I'm going to give you up to three sales page, website, and copy reviews so that we are in real time tweaking that shit together to get it as strong and as powerful as possible.
Yeah. Hey guys. So apparently we can just decide to be whatever we want, which we already established about an hour ago, which is why I launched my new basketball coaching business, and I'm a doctor. And in case you didn't hear the news, because I just decided in my head 30 seconds ago, I'm also a copywriter now. So if anyone wants to pay me $5,000, you can send me your web copy and I will review it for you. And I will give you 3 tweaks or 3 revisions, whatever she just said, and I'll send it back to you. So if you're interested, my email is in the description of this YouTube video, and I will help you with your website copy, because if she can be a copywriter, I can too. So I'm glad that she gave me the confidence to announce my new service.
And then week 5, we're going to work on your fully booked framework and your sales process so that you have a DM strategy so that you can use social media, you can use your hooks, your calls to action, and we're going to focus and dive deep on the DM strategy so you can stop doing so many.
Monica's asking if she helps her clients on their business or her goal is to convince clients to become a coach. I think her clients are coaches. Her dream client is someone who already is a coach. And basically what I'm gathering based on these podcast episodes is that she's going to teach them how to do exactly what she's doing right now. So she creates podcast episodes that speak to these people's problems and gets them to sign up for her program. And then she's going to teach you how to create your own content, whether that's podcast, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, that speaks to those problems, 50 pieces of content. And that's how you're going to get clients, allegedly, apparently, in my opinion.
Sales calls. You'll still have your sales strategy if you want it. I'll have that for you too. But this way you are pivoting a little bit more because a lot of people don't want to spend time on a Zoom. They're not going to move their calendars around to get on a phone call with you. And so if we can move some of that to getting that exact lineup and process working for you, and you feel really confident in what you're saying, you feel really confident in your selling and in the way that you talk to people in that messaging protocol as well, that's going to feel really easy and fun. And you'll start closing more and more people in that process. And then we will focus fully on more content that converts. So your hooks, your frameworks of copy, your calls to action, and we will talk through what works with specific examples, what doesn't work right now, and how to tweak the things that haven't worked for you so that you can repurpose those things more specific, more powerful, and more direct to exactly those people. And you'll know exactly what to do to edit all of that copy that you previously put out there so that you can just
Again, I've seen your copy. I don't want your help, but thank you for the offer.
just grab it, make some tweaks, post it again, and get it working for you again. You'll also have weekly action steps, homework. It won't be intense, I promise. In summer, I'm not gonna make it hard, but it will be things that you will do every week that you will come back and report in our Facebook group so that I can come see what you've been working on and help you tweak that even more. And mindset shifts to help you really add some rocket fuel to all of the strategy that we're gonna be teaching. Plus, your bonus is that you're gonna get one-on-one Voxer support for customized strategy. And this is as close as you can get working with me one-on-one for a tenth of what my one-on-one packages cost. That will start August 2nd. So that will be 4 weeks, and we'll just go a little bit longer each one of those weeks to get all the copy and the content in. And of course, you have your Facebook community where we will help each other out, talk to each other for your feedback, for your homework and posting and getting more and more support. Your investment is $2,000, and there are 3 payment plans available. You can pay in full, you can pay 2 months at $1,000 each, or you can pay 3 months at $667 each. And if you would like,
Okay, full transparency, I zoned out a little bit, so I'm not sure what all the weeks were, but I'm paying $2,000 for her to go over my web copy. What else did she say I was going to get? Because that is literally insane. I would pay an actual copywriter that much, but I'm not paying this woman.
the link for that, I'm going to drop it here in the chat for you, or you can message me for the August version. But what you definitely want to be working on in the next couple of months, because the market is shifting, and I don't think that that's going to change. And I think from what I'm seeing for a lot of people in the next 9 to 12 months, a lot of people are going to be dropping out of the new businesses that they started, the coaching sphere, the consulting sphere, because they don't know how to shift these messaging pieces, and they don't know how to shift their marketing. They don't know how to pivot, and they don't know how to sell in a way that is actually working right now. And I don't want that to happen to you. I don't want you to have to go back to corporate. If that's a fear and a worry for what's coming up for you, I really want to encourage you to join the Mini Mind, because I
want you to pay me $2,000 so that you never have to go back to a job that will pay you on a regular set schedule. And instead, I want you to live in delusion, thinking that your services that you have no business selling are going to be the thing that makes you successful, when you could just get a job that would give you financial security. We don't do that here. Financial security who? Don't know her.
deeply committed to the coaching industry thriving and doing really well. And I'm deeply committed to you as a feminist, as a progressive, as an entrepreneur, to you doing really well, because I know that you're going to do amazing shit with your money and for your community and for the ways that you give back. I want us to make sure that we are making this work for you in a way that feels amazing for you. And so that you know that like it's just a couple of tweaks and you'll always have this toolkit every time the market shifts again. But over the next 3 to 12 months, like people are going to start dropping out. You're going to start seeing less of a saturation of like the coaching market, the consulting market, and new pop-up online businesses. And I really don't want that to happen to you. I want us to preserve what we've got and what you worked so hard to create. And if you can hang on for the next 12 months, you will be successful. There will be room for you. And so I want to help you hang on for those next 3, 6, 9, 12 months so that you can stay in the game, because I know that you are so dedicated and you love what you do so much. And you're so dedicated to doing good work in the world with your business and with the way that you operate for your clients, for yourself, for your whole community. I know that that's a value for you. So if you are like, I know I need this, I know I need to shift my messaging, my selling, my marketing, I really want to highly encourage you to get into the Mini Mind starting August. Okay, Jasmine asks, how necessary do you feel that sales calls are? I've been kind of just wanting to have just a payment link instead of a book sales call process. You can. I don't think that there's anything wrong with that, but you are going to have to do the work to overcome objections in your messaging, in your marketing. You're going to have to put your marketing to work for you, and you're going to have to put your DM strategy to work for you, so that when those people reach out and they say, hey, I really wanted to book, but here are all my thoughts, you'll be able to work through those with them and to help them process through those and answer those questions in a really compelling and collaborative way that doesn't feel pushy at all. So I don't do sales calls anymore, and you don't have to. There are ways to not. And for some people, just having a payment link.
If you want to not do sales calls anymore, just hire someone in the Philippines to do them for you.
Is absolutely helpful. Like I would even add that now, like, hey, if you already know you're in, here's the payment link. But I would add a little bit of an application process so that you know exactly who you are letting into your containers, and so that you know that it's a good match for what you do. So it's not just any bot can sign up, right? I would make sure that you add some sort of application or intake form to that process.
Yeah, this is a good point. Harrison says, I thought we don't do objections. If we're only speaking to people who are ready to buy, why are we even worried that they're going to protest against our offers or ask questions? Because they shouldn't ask questions, because they're already ready to hand us over their money. So which story is it, lady?
Any other questions about your messaging, about your selling, or about the Mini Mind right now? If you just want to drop them in the comments and do hashtag replay, I will come back and answer your questions, or just shoot me a DM. We will talk through if it's the right fit for you. All right, my loves, I hope you have an incredible weekend. I will talk to you soon. Bye.
My loves, I
Call
thought
all
we were your
badass
bitches.
feminists.
Again, your messaging is a little bit confusing, lady. As someone who's allegedly going to help me with my messaging, your messaging makes no sense, in my opinion, allegedly. Isabella says, I wonder why I fell for this, but it sounds like she really cares, so I think that's what sucked me in. Yeah, I could definitely see, again, if I'm someone who doesn't understand anything about business and I'm really just like focused on figuring out how to get more clients, I could see and like coaching appeals to me, I could see how I would listen to this and think like, wow, this woman's going to help me do everything that I need to do. These are the problems that I'm facing. I'm so glad she has a magic solution for me. Isabella says, in my cohort, someone asked for a refund after call 1 and she declined it. Ooh, yikes. I hope they were able to dispute it. She used to be in the Stacey Bayman period. I wonder how she's getting clients now. Yeah, I don't really know much about this woman at all, other than the 2 live streams we've done about her. So I'm not sure. Yes. So all of these podcasts, Space Pastry's asking, these podcasts are just sales pitches. I'm shocked. All of these were linked in her free guide that we looked at here, which had no information other than links to the podcast. Again, if you're a business owner that wants to set up a lead magnet, please give the person some context. Put a little paragraph in about who you are and why we should listen to you. Put a little sentence or 2 in about what people are going to learn when they download this. Give me some information, not just, here's my podcast, and then a link to all this other stuff. Like, okay, let's check out her TikTok. Oh, that didn't even take me to TikTok. Let's check out her Instagram. Here we go. So 7 figures in 20 hours per week. Sell without sleaze. Let's just see what she's up to. Okay, so this just looks like clips from the podcast, maybe.
That I was mentioning was this concept of don't build your business around your life, build your life around your business. Mm-hmm. And like, think about, how do I want my life to feel and how do I want my business to feel? Mm-hmm. And then look at your dream client and create offers from there. One of the things that I was mentioning was the concept of don't build.
No, I think she's got that backwards. If you're building your business around your life, that means you've already established what your life is, and then your business fits into your life. If you build your life around your business, that means everything you do is to benefit the business, which I don't agree with. I've built my business around my life because I want a specific lifestyle. Therefore, my business operates in a way that allows me to live that lifestyle, right? Anyways, semantics. What is happening? Where's this light coming from? There's like a... Can you guys see that? I don't know where it's coming from. It must be, there's like a slit of the window open and it just happens to be hitting my face. Anyway. She used to be basically a Stacey Bayman downline. Okay, that makes sense. It sounds like a lot of sounds good regurgitation without real experience or expertise. Makes sense. That checks out. Enmesh your business in your life. Exactly. I'm like, I think she has that backwards, right? Like, you should build your business around your life, not your life around your business, unless you want to work a cajillion hours a day. Oh, Hillary, no worries. Hillary says I had to jump off for an hour. You want to know what you missed? Whatever we listened to in the first episodes that you were here for. We basically just listened to 2 hours of presumably this woman taking her podcast script to ChatGPT and asking it to rewrite it. Paraphrase these episodes for my friends, and then she re-recorded them with a different title. We learned nothing. Make being a woo-woo business coach your personality trait. That's step number 2 for sure. All right, friends. I think that's going to be it for today. I don't know where this light is coming from. But anyway, this was fun. Thanks so much for being here. Next week, we're going to go down the Amberly Lyons rabbit hole. Thanks to Hillary. Listen to some God-loving Bible podcasts or something of the sort. Should be fun times. If anyone's privy to that side of the world, the Amanda Francis leg of the pyramid. Looking forward to that. We learned absolutely nothing. So unfortunately, we didn't get rich today, but maybe next week we will have better luck. Probably not, but maybe. To be determined. Okay, members, channel members, new video is now live. You can go ahead and watch that for your viewing pleasure. It will be live for everyone else on Wednesday morning. Take care, comb your hair. Zerify, if you're still here, email me. Let's chat. Okay. That's it. That's all. Canada Day or a different day next week? No, I don't really celebrate holidays because I never know what day of the week it is. So I'll be here. Same time, same place. Monday, 4 p.m. Pacific. So, whoops. If that doesn't work for you, I'll catch you on the replay. Okay, I'm done. The Amberley Lions pivot is insane. Guys, get yourself caught up to speed. I need to get myself caught up to speed, actually. I haven't really done much research other than look at her YouTube channel, but we will get into it. Have a great day, night, weekend, whenever you're watching this. Okay. Take care. Comb your hair. Bye, 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 bye. Where do I hit the end screen? Bye.